Welcome to this explainer. Look, we've all heard the exact same tired financial advice, right? Cut back on that daily coffee, download some trendy new budgeting app, maybe grind out a few more hours at a side hustle. But we're going to explore a totally different angle today because the truth is, you simply cannot budget your way out of a broken relationship with money. If the foundation is cracked, skipping a morning latte isn't going to fix that deep-seated financial anxiety. So let's unpack how to fix that foundation together by looking at how we can completely rewire our brains for wealth just by changing our money mindset. Check out the stark contrast here between how most folks view their finances and what's actually happening beneath the surface. First, we have the scarcity mindset. This is that creeping belief that if you're constantly anxious about paying bills, or if you feel a pit of guilt every single time you spend money on yourself, that you just have an income problem. We love to tell ourselves, man, if I just made an extra $1,000 a month, all my stress would vanish. But an abundance mindset suggests something radically different. It says you don't necessarily have an income problem, you have a mindset problem. And honestly, until we fix that internal mindset, the external income won't matter at all, because lifestyle creep will just swallow up every new dollar you earn.
So here is the clear step-by-step unlearning blueprint we're going to use in this explainer to rewire for abundance. First, we'll expose your financial roots. Second, reframe your internal language. Third, audit your financial environment. And fourth, treat money as a tool.
All right, let's dive right into step 1. Expose your financial roots. To actually move forward and build a healthier financial future, we kind of have to look in the rearview mirror for a second. We need to figure out where our daily financial behaviors and impulses actually come from. Psychologists call these deeply ingrained patterns money scripts. Basically, money scripts are the unconscious beliefs about money that were passed down to you from your childhood. Think of them like a hidden operating system running quietly in the background of your mind, driving your financial stress and your spending habits without you even realizing it's happening. Imagine being a kid and silently watching a parent stressing over a stack of bills at the kitchen table late at night, whispering about how tight things are. Your brain logged that anxiety. You inherited these scripts from watching your parents, from the neighborhood you grew up in, and from casual conversations you overheard.
Did you grow up constantly hearing phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees? Or maybe, rich people are greedy? Hearing those kinds of toxic phrases on repeat during your formative years literally wires your young brain to associate wealth with stress, selfishness, or guilt. And when you carry that right into adulthood, you might subconsciously sabotage your own earning potential just because you don't want to be seen as greedy. You really need to catch those thoughts when they pop up today and log your emotional triggers, because tracking those triggers helps you realize something profound. Your bank balance is merely a metric of your current strategy. It is absolutely not a measurement of your personal human worth.
Moving right along to step 2, reframe your internal language. You know, the vocabulary of your internal dialogue completely dictates your financial reality. One of the absolute most powerful language shifts you can make right now is to stop saying, I can't afford it. When you say I can't, it puts your brain in this passive, helpless victim state. It completely shuts down all creative problem solving because your brain just accepts the statement as a final verdict. Instead, try saying, I'm choosing to prioritize other goals. Do you feel the difference in power there? If your friends invite you to a fancy dinner and you're saving for a down payment, saying, I'm prioritizing my house fund, turns you into an active manager of your choices. You are in control. You aren't a victim of your finances. You are the executive director of them.
And we can take this reframing exercise even further. Shift your internal dialogue from a definitive statement of lack, like, I don't have enough, to an active, open-ended question. How can I create more value to earn more? This completely changes the game. It fosters a totally proactive mindset. How could you create more value? Maybe it means spending an hour a day learning a new high-income skill, or simply asking your manager for ownership over a new project at work. And this applies to your daily life too. Instead of groaning and complaining about a utility bill when it arrives in the mail, try reframing it as gratitude for the hot water and electricity you already used and benefited from all month. It just changes the entire emotional frequency of how you handle your money.
Okay, that brings us to step 3, audit your financial environment. Look, our brains are constantly adapting to the external inputs they receive. You are what you consume, and that absolutely includes your financial inputs. So let's try an environment audit as an experiment. First up, go onto your social media and unfollow those luxury lifestyle curators. If your feed is just nonstop flashy cars and impossible vacations, you're constantly triggering a sense of lack in your own brain, and that directly leads to impulsive spending just to keep up with an illusion. Next, Replace that noise by reading books and listening to insights from true wealth builders. Think foundational strategy guides or entrepreneurial interviews that focus on business mechanics, not just showing off. Finally, surround yourself with people who actually focus on assets and growth rather than consumption. We must intentionally shift our focus from high-end liabilities over to investments, assets, and leverage. You really want to replace the hollow noise of designer clothes and depreciating liabilities with conversations centered entirely on growth and long-term wealth building. So what does that actually look like? Well, it looks like sitting down with a friend and discussing real estate trends, or maybe how to optimize a retirement portfolio instead of comparing who bought the newest luxury watch. When you change your environment and the conversations you're a part of, your mindset naturally follows right along with it.
And now for our final piece of the puzzle, step 4. Treat money as a tool.
This final step is all about removing the heavy emotional baggage we attach to cash, and instead treating money strictly as a mechanical instrument for your personal freedom. Now, I want you to pause and ask yourself a crucial question the next time you're out shopping. Is this item worth 5 hours of my life? This is incredibly powerful. To treat money as a tool, you need to start quantifying your purchases in time rather than flat dollars. Think about it. If you take home $20 an hour after taxes and you want to buy a $100 pair of shoes, ask yourself, is this item actually worth 5 hours of my unrecoverable life energy? When you frame it that way, a lot of those impulse purchases suddenly lose all their appeal, don't they?
This shift in thinking matters so much because we usually view saving as a restriction, as somehow missing out on all the fun today. But that's just the old scarcity mindset talking. Abundance says something entirely different. Saving money is not missing out today. It is buying back your future time. You are literally using money as a tool to purchase your future freedom. Every single dollar you invest is like a tiny employee working around the clock to buy you the option to wake up one day and do exactly what you want to do on your own terms. That is a thrilling realization. So, how do we practically enforce this new mindset? It's all about a mechanical solution that completely removes willpower and emotional friction. Let's face it, willpower is flawed, but systems work. Step 1, your paycheck arrives. Step 2, an automatic transfer immediately moves a portion of that cash right into your investments and savings. You automate your finances so you pay yourself first the exact day you get paid. Before you even have a chance to see that money sitting in your checking account and feel tempted to spend it, it's already out there working for you. You just take human error and temptation completely out of the equation.
To summarize the core thesis of everything we've explored together in this explainer, wealth begins right between your ears. The absolute foundation of a healthy financial future is purely psychological. Once you change how you see a dollar, transforming it from a source of stress or just a token to buy liabilities into a precision tool designed to buy back your time, you fundamentally change how that dollar works for you.
If this breakdown helped you see your finances a little differently and you're ready to build a healthier financial future, please go ahead and like this explainer and subscribe for more structured insights just like this. But more importantly, let's take some action right now. Drop into the comments and tell me one toxic money belief you are leaving behind today. Commit to it in writing. I want to leave you with one final thought to carry with you as you go about your day. What is the very first unconscious money script you are going to rewrite right now? Seriously, don't wait until tomorrow. Catch that old script, flip it into a statement of abundance, and start building your real wealth from the inside out. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.